Do you think that she read the whole thing and just decided to cherry pick something?
I do think that she read the whole thing, and I think that it's an incredibly complex.
You know what's in store for us today? Oh yeah, it's our favorite Jessica Tarlow. As usual, she's here to give us all her interesting opinion. God, somebody shut that woman up. She clearly shouldn't be talking about such serious things. What's going to happen next? I don't know. Let's watch it together.
Piece. When you look at the 191 passages, you have some good, and frankly, I'm just fundamentally uncomfortable with the sentence that blacks benefited at all from this. And it made me think, as someone, obviously I'm not black, but I'm Jewish. Would someone say about the Holocaust, for instance, that there were some benefits for Jews, right? While they were hanging out in concentration camps, you learned a strong work ethic, right? Maybe you learned a new skill.
Did you ever read Man's Search for Meaning? Vic Frankl talks about how you had to survive in a concentration camp by having skills. You had to be useful. Utility kept you alive.
We're also talking about middle schoolers here.
Oh my God, what's she talking about? It's not about black people with skills. It's just the way they handled it. Even Greg Gutfeld humiliated Jessica Tarlow on live TV. She cites silly arguments with no reference to the truth. We can see Greg struggling to shut her up.
Right, while they were hanging out in concentration camps, you learned a strong work ethic, right? Maybe you learned a new skill.
Did you ever read Man's Search for Meaning? Vic Frankl talks about how you had to survive in a concentration camp by having skills. You had to be useful. Utility kept you alive.
We're also talking about middle schoolers here. And there's a lot of concern about what age people are prepared to understand complex issues. I'm not sure that 12 is the right age to start hearing things like, and when you were enslaved here in America.
What about gender?
And so that was her expert opinion on the matter. It was, of course, very bright and quickly faded. I would advise her not to talk such nonsense and not to get involved in things you don't know anything about. She cites books and twists the whole meaning. Greg Gutfeld corrected her and put her in her place. It's like when she was on Fox News talking about the Trump situation. Here's that segment, by the way.
My response is that there are two issues at play here. There's the civility issue, which is what happened here with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and I personally don't think that she should have been thrown out of the restaurant. I think you can have a conversation with someone about the beliefs and what this administration is doing without denying them service. We don't deny service to people for immutable characteristics. We can legally on the basis of political affiliation, but I don't think it was constructive and it hurts the debate. The other side to the issue is the fact that Republican women want to be deemed feminists, and they want to have the same kind of clout as women on the left who are actually advocating for policies that help women, whereas the policies out of this administration actually hurt them, like refusing to raise.
Women that work for the president, they wouldn't say that. They would say actually the opposite. They would say that we believe in these issues and we feel like they help women.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, but the statistics don't lie. We know that if you raise the minimum wage, 2/3 of people in this country on the minimum wage are women. They need that help. We know that there is assault on women's health care rights.
Oh yeah, this is where she made remarks about how bad Trump is at shutting down the minority issue. I have a question. Why else would anyone let her waste airtime on it? Why? All right, let's take a look at another segment.
For about 6 decades.
All right, and ladies, I just want to point out, ladies, I just want to point out, let's keep this civil. As I opened up this segment, there is already so much hate, indecency in this country. So let's just keep this debate a debate and keep it civil. Jessica, your response.
I believe I was keeping it civil, and then Candace told me that I wasn't a feminist. I also believe that Candace doesn't speak for the entire.
I didn't say you weren't. I said the left. Okay, ladies, Jessica. I said the left. I didn't say you, Jessica. So don't make it personal. I said the left. It's selective feminism on the left that we're seeing.
I disagree with you, and I'm going to do that politely. I'm going to return to my original argument, which is that we have heard this for years, that Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and all the women who work for this president and support his agenda aren't getting their due. They're not getting their due from the feminist community because they are advocating for policies that hurt women, that keep them in a bad economic position, that don't allow them to live equally in this society.
Can I ask you this, Jessica?
Yes.
Economic hardship. That's very funny to me. I'll say this, and I think we'll take it as true. If a man works under difficult conditions and earns more than a woman's secretary or accountant, that is not a reason for women to revolt and rise up. The simple truth is, work harder and get more. No one in this country forbids people to work. What do you think about this? Write your opinion in the comments and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.